How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another video. Now, normally I like to go out for a bimble and explore the woods and go for walks and practice bushcraft around this time of year. But what I've learned about myself is I'm getting worse. It is too cold. I can't be bothered. I'm not motivated. I don't want to go out. And there's a reason that I just feel, I'm just not liking the cold this year. I'm just sick of it now. I just want the weather to get better and so we can go out, go for a paddle and go for walks. I didn't get much done last year, so I want to show you what it's like. So let me just take the camera over. Just give you an idea here. Yeah, snow. Avalanche came off my roof there. It is crazy. Now, normally I like the snow. However, it's just been demotivating this year. I'm not enjoying it. It's the start of the new year, and I'm just not enjoying it. So I figured we'll go back into the garage and we won't stop making these videos, and we're gonna do a simple project following from my last video on the flint and steel kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to make a simple kit for yourself that anybody can do at home. You don't have to have a lot of tools to do this. I'm fortunate I've got some power tools and stuff, but I'm going to show you some little tricks to do things really easy. I'll show you the easiest way to make a flint and steel kit, and then we'll turn it up a notch and start making it a little bit more fancier, a little bit more deluxe. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. If this is the type of content you do like, give me a little like in the channel and subscribe to my channel. Trying to build up the followers here. I put a little short out recently about seeing my knife collection. I will show that collection once I've hit 500 subscribers. So as soon as you've hit that target, it's not like I'm targeting myself, but just for a bit of fun, then as a reward I'll put that video out. So share the videos, guys. So I'll turn you around now and we're going to have a look at how to make a flint and steel kit. Okay, so I'm going to show you the easiest way to make a flint and steel kit. Now I've got an old file here that I've been using. This was about this long, and I've chopped off several pieces and I've made them into flint and steel kits, and I've given them away. So I've given them away to my friends. I want to show you the easiest way to take a piece that you need. It's important if you're going to use a file to check if it's the right steel by taking a piece of flint and just striking it. If it lets you, as long as it hasn't got the ridges on the end, if you might need to file them down a bit, but strike it and see if it creates sparks, and if it does, then that's a suitable file for a flint and steel kit. That's all you want, is a few sparks. We're going to keep using this one, work our way through it. I'm going to show you how you can break a piece of file off, and then how to prepare it for a flint and steel kit. But we're also going to turn it up a notch and make it a little bit more nicer and more appealing to look at. The whole point of this project is to be able to make a kit without having to have a forge and an anvil, where you're banging it into shape. We will do that in future videos, but for now, let's go right to the bare minimum and go to the basics and just show you what you can do so you can practice flint and steel techniques. So I'm going to turn you around. I'm going to show you how I'm going to take a piece off this, and this is again something you can do at home quite easily with very minimal tools. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the easiest way to cut a piece of steel off from a file without using an angle grinder, because if we use an angle grinder, we need more tools. I like to give myself just a little bit extra that I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a vise, and I'm just going to cinch that down. Okay, this is all we do. We take a hammer, it might take a few blows, and we just strike it hard. It should break. So I'm going to get this to the camera, just like that. Okay, there's my little piece of steel. Okay, so you can see that there. Keeping my gloves on, guys. Let's take this glove off so you can see it a bit better. There we go. So that's my steel that I'm going to be using to make my flint and steel kit. Now this one's got a few ridges here, so you can see that there. So we need to grind them away, because if we used to strike that on the flint, it will work. However, it just wouldn't be as effective. We want to smooth one end off at least. Okay, you could, if it hasn't got those ridges, just use it as it is, and that would be a steel for flint and steel. So that's the easiest way. So that would be the most bog standard way to make yourself a steel, the most simplest way of doing it. Let's turn it up a notch though. Let's neaten this file up. You can use a Dremel for this job quite easily, or some of the equivalent. And all I'm going to do is just clean up the edges here. I'm going to start off with the face and then clean up the edges. So I'm going to keep doing that so it's flat, and I'm going to be dunking it in water as well. So I'm going to get a little pot of water as well. It's not hot at the moment because it's very cold out here. I'm going to do this all the way around, cleaning up everything I can. But you can see from the sparks flying off that this is going to make a good steel for a flint and steel kit. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've done so far. You can see I've flattened that so smooth, and I've also rounded off the edges here and smoothed off the edges ever so slightly. You could leave it like that now if you wanted to, and that'll be a usable steel. Have I got a piece of flint with me? Yep. So let's see if this will spark. Yep, so you can see there sparks are being generated there. So that is a usable steel now, and be done with it. You can be happy with that, and that's the easiest way to make a flint and steel kit. However, let's turn it up even more. Okay, we're going to flatten this off. I'm going to use my little belt sander that I've got. If you haven't got a belt sander, you can easily again use a Dremel tool. I'm not going to go too mental taking off all the teeth off the file. I'm going to leave some of the pattern on there just to clean it up from being dirty file. Okay, and then we're going to do something else to this to turn it up. Right, I'm going to use my welder's magnet, and I'm just going to put that on there, so therefore my hands are not too close to the actual belt sander. Just get this lined up nicely. There we go. That should be a good thing to hold, so I can just rest it against there. So that's a bit cleaner. I didn't go too mental here, just cleaned off the face and just kind of get the rust off. Now I'm just going to figure out what antler I can use as a handle for this steel, just to make it a little bit more personal. Now, I started filming. He thought he started filming, but didn't press record. So I've used my bandsaw over there, and I've just cut a piece of antler out. Okay, so you can see that there. That's the piece I've cut. So, shame guys, I wish I got that on video, but hey, I think you get the idea. You cut a square out, or rectangle in this case, of a piece of antler. Okay, you could have done it with wood. You can do it with bone if you wish. Okay, you can use a handsaw. You don't need to necessarily have a bandsaw, but as long as it's a little bit thicker than what you've got here, that's key. Okay, so that's what we want now. I think I might use this side because it's a bit thicker. Right. What we're going to now do is just cut ourselves a channel so we can then get this seated in. Once we've got it seated in, we're going to then shape the antler piece first, and then we'll glue it. Okay, so we just want to get a nice groove put in there. Okay, so I'm going to do this with a hand tool, and I'm going to do this with a file with cutting teeth on that side, and I'm using a file just ever so slightly thinner than the steel that I'm making. And the reason why I'm using one thinner, because it makes it then easy to adjust. If I make one exactly the same size or a little bit bigger, then you'll have give and it'll wobble. So what we can do is make it too small to begin with, and then we can always widen the groove. You got one chance of doing this unless you're going to cut out another piece of antler or wood. Just want to get a nice straight line. As I said, this stuff stinks. So establishing my little groove, getting the groove on. As they say, get your groove on. And I just once you get established, you can then go quicker. Bring you over, have a look at what it looks like. So you can see there's a little channel being grooved out there. And that's what you do. And then, you know, if you do one smaller than the thickness of the actual steel, you can expand it either way. So get it centered, and you can grind a little bit this way and a little bit this way until it fits nice and snug. Okay, so I'm just going to get on with that and show you what that looks like. Oh, that's it there. Nice little channel moved out. Now I've used, as I said, a smaller thickness of file than the actual steel piece. The reason for that is when I'm grinding through it, I can also expand it this way and that way. That's probably the better technique. I'd rather use that than the Dremel, because the Dremel doesn't give you that consistent line unless you've got some sort of jig to go with it. You can use probably a router, but might be a bit too aggressive for antler. So that's it there, nice, carefully done. With this steel itself, as I was doing it, I noticed it was getting thinner either side. I don't want to lose too much strength in this direction. So I've just slightly beveled it here. You didn't have to see me grinding again. I just did it like you were making a knife. Beveled it and just rounded it off as well. And now that fits in there nice and snug now. There we go. So you can see there, fits right in there. Yeah, spot on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape up the antler a little bit to what I want it to be. So I'm going to have this nice and smoothed off. Nice little bevel on there. Get it to the size I want. I'm going to round all this off. And then we're just going to glue it in. And then that'll be our flint and steel pretty much done. So all I'm doing here is just rounding off the sharp edges on the antler itself. It's better to do this before you put the steel into the antler, so that way you can get them all smoothed off, rounded off, and just keep checking to see if everything fits. Guys, you have to excuse the camera here. The table is vibrating, hence why it's so blurry. But that's what I'm going to do now. I also want to point out that antler stinks. And it's really bad for your lungs, so it's really important that you wear a mask or a respirator of some sort if you are going to do this. Okay, so that is it shaped up. Looking not bad, actually. I like it. So there's a little handle on there, so I've got my old groove. Just smoothed off the edges. Antler's really hard to get perfect, but that's okay. I like that. I like the fact it's not perfect and it has imperfections. I'm also going to polish it on the buffing wheel. Okay, so let's get glue up and let's show you what kind of glue I'm going to use for this particular project. Before gluing this in place, we need to clean the items. So I'm going to use just a little bit of rubbing alcohol, nothing fancy. I'm just going to stick a little bit on the cloth, just like that. Clean the steel with it. You could always lubricate the steel afterwards and put some more oil on it if you're scared for it to rust. But to be honest, I'm not too bothered about rusting. It's more so keeping that surface clear. And then obviously it'll be what's making the sparks. Just gonna get this in here, just give it a little wipe. Gets all the excess antler out of there. It's nothing special. Don't need a lot of this, just need enough. I'm just hoping we get some. God, so cold. Get a bit more. There we go. That's all I need. To use Gorilla Glue, you need to wet the areas that you're going to be gluing. So we're going to use this cloth again. We're just going to dip it. Don't want to saturate it, just dip it with water. Just want to dampen it if anything. So we just kind of put that in there. Give it a little dampen. Nice and wet. Right, that's them pieces ready. Get a little stick. Get the glue. Gorilla Glue's good solid adhesive. That might actually be enough, to be fair. a thin layer, because it expands. It will help tighten up the steel in there. So when I put the steel on, it'll expand, and the steel will like almost be friction fitted as well. If that's the right term for it. Squeeze, make sure it's all lined up before we commit. There we have it. I'm going to leave that to dry. Hopefully it will dry. It's quite good stuff. That I normally use epoxy for like knives and things, but Gorilla Glue for this kind of application is perfectly fine. It'll just expand in there. We'll cut it off. That'll be it in there, and that'll be all we need. So I'm going to come back when it's dried off, show you how to prepare after that, and we'll give it a little buff, and we'll try it out and see if we can get a little piece of tinder lit up. Okay, that's pretty much it done. It's cured up. So what we're going to do now is just cut off some of the excess glue that you get stuck in between the seams here. And what I'm going to do then is just take it on the buffing wheel quickly. That'll be it. I'm just taking it on the buffing wheel here just to give it a nice little shine to the antler, and also clean up any of the excess glue that's on there. And there we have it, guys. That's it finished. So simple flint and steel kit. So there's the flint, there's the steel. All we need now is like a little container, so something like this little canvas oil bag, oil cotton or whatever they call it. You know, it's like a canvas bag. I made this. This took a couple of minutes, literally, for a stitch right round, and just cut off some strips. Show you what that looks like. Got some strips there, and that's attached to the bag. And all you have to do is put your gear in there and move along with your tinder material and etc. Tie it up. And there's your little flint and steel kit, little fire kit. What we're going to do now is we're going to see if we can light up a little bit of horseshoe fungus, tiniest little bit there that I found in that little bag. So let's see if we can light that up. You'll see how you can get yourself a nice little fire kit for practically nothing if you've got the right tools and material. There we go. Yeah, see, I've caught that. Works like a treat. Let's just put that out. So that's it. That is how you make a flint and steel kit the easy way, on the cheap. So you can just take the file as it is and just have that as it is, or you can put a little handle on it and you can put wood, antler, bone, as I've done previously. So guys, if you do decide to make this particular kit for yourself, I mean, you don't have to have a little bag. You can put it in a little tin if you wanted to. And if you do decide to make one and you film it, please let me know. I would love to see it. So obviously in the comment section, just tag in your video. And if this is your first time to my channel and you enjoyed today's video, please show your support to my channel and give me a subscribe. It'll be awesome to have some more subscribers and more viewers to my channel. For those who have already subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate your support. And thank you for the comments that you guys have been making. There are lots of kind comments in there, especially in that last video when we were talking about flint and steel kits. But if it's something you would like to have a go at and you want to do it, you know, with minimal tools, that's the way, I'd say. That's for sure. I'll see you on the next one, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.